Could your favorite snack be quietly sabotaging your health? You might think you're making a smart choice, but not all nuts are created equal. Some are loaded with heart-healthy fats, brain-boosting nutrients, and immune-supporting minerals. But others? They're secretly packed with hidden calories, inflammatory compounds, and even dangerous toxins. In today's video, you'll discover the 4 powerhouse nuts that support your heart, sharpen your memory, and help you age with strength. Plus, the 4 nuts you might want to avoid if you care about blood pressure, digestion, and long-term wellness. By the end, you'll know exactly which nuts deserve a daily spot in your diet and which ones are better left on the shelf. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's crack open the truth. Part 1. The Nutty Heroes. 4 nuts you should embrace. 1. Almonds, the heart's ally. Have you ever felt that tightness in your chest after walking up a flight of stairs? Or maybe you found yourself more winded lately than you used to be. That might not just be age. It could be your heart asking for help. Enter one of nature's simplest, most powerful allies, the almond. These little beige wonders aren't just for trail mix. Packed with monounsaturated fats, almonds are proven to help reduce LDL cholesterol. That's the kind that clogs your arteries, while boosting the good kind, HDL, that your heart absolutely needs to stay strong. But that's just the beginning. Almonds also contain magnesium, a mineral most adults over 60 are dangerously low on. Low magnesium can trigger high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, muscle spasms, even anxiety. Just a small serving of almonds daily can help restore that balance naturally. And if you're thinking about skin and aging, yes, almonds have your back there too. They're loaded with vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects skin from sun damage, helps reduce wrinkles, and keeps your skin hydrated from within. Here's the kicker. You don't need a giant bowl. Just 23 almonds a day, about 1 ounce, is enough. It's the kind of habit that takes seconds, but pays off for years. But be careful. Not all almonds are created equal. Avoid those coated in sugar or salt. Stick with raw or dry roasted, unsalted almonds. Think of them as daily medicine you'll actually enjoy. So next time you reach for a snack, don't go for the chips or cookies. Reach for your heart's best friend instead. Reach for almonds. 2. Walnuts, brain boosters. Have you ever opened the fridge, stared inside, and suddenly forgotten why you came? Or found yourself rereading the same line in a book again and again? These moments might feel small, but over time, they can make you feel like your sharpness is fading, like your mind isn't quite your own anymore. But here's the good news. You can fight back, and it starts with something simple: walnuts. That's right. These little brain-shaped powerhouses are one of nature's most powerful gifts for your mind, especially as we age. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly one called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. Your body uses this to reduce inflammation, protect brain tissue, and maintain healthy neurons, the very cells that help you think, remember, and process new information. Studies have shown that seniors who eat walnuts regularly experience slower cognitive decline, better memory retention, and even improvements in mood and focus. Some research suggests walnuts may help reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and age-related brain shrinkage. Think of them as daily fuel for your mental clarity. And that's not all. Walnuts are also packed with polyphenols and antioxidants, which fight oxidative stress, the process that causes cell damage and speeds up brain aging. These compounds act like tiny bodyguards, protecting your brain from the wear and tear of time. Let me tell you about Mrs. Joan, a 74-year-old woman I once worked with. She was sharp, independent, but lately, she felt foggy. Names slipped away, conversations blurred. She started adding a small handful of walnuts to her breakfast oatmeal each day. Nothing fancy, Within weeks, she said something shifted. She felt more focused, more present. She told me, "I feel like my mind came back home." Now, how much should you eat? 14 walnut halves a day. That's it. No need to overdo it. Because they're rich in healthy fats, a small portion goes a long way. Not a fan of the slightly bitter taste? Try lightly roasting them to bring out their natural sweetness. Or mix them with fruit, yogurt, or in a homemade trail mix with dark chocolate and pumpkin seeds. Delicious, and even better, brain nourishing. Just one final tip. Store your walnuts in the fridge or freezer. They're full of oils that can go rancid if left out too long. So the next time you catch yourself forgetting something, don't panic. Instead, reach for a handful of walnuts. Because your memory matters. Your stories, your thoughts, your voice, they all deserve to stay sharp. And sometimes, the strongest medicine doesn't come in a bottle. It comes in a shell. 3. Pistachios. Weight management wonders. Have you ever finished a snack and felt just as hungry as when you started? Or worse, felt guilty afterward for overdoing it? We've all been there. Especially as we age, managing weight becomes more than just a goal. It's a key part of protecting your heart, your joints, and your energy. That's where pistachios come in, nature's crunchy little secret weapon for smarter snacking. What makes pistachios different from other nuts? To begin with, they're lower in calories than most, only about 160 calories per ounce, compared to over 200 for almonds or walnuts. But don't let their size fool you. These vibrant green gems are packed with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. The perfect trio to help you feel full and satisfied. And satiety, that feeling of fullness, is the hidden key to weight management. When you feel satisfied, you're less likely to reach for second helpings or unhealthy snacks between meals. Pistachios help stabilize your appetite, so you can eat intuitively, not impulsively. But there's more. Pistachios aren't just good for your waistline, they're a gift to your eyes. They contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful antioxidants that help protect your vision from age-related decline, especially against blue light and oxidative stress. For anyone spending time on screens or in sunlight, this is a big win. Now here's a simple trick. Opt for in-shell pistachios. Why? Because the process of shelling each nut slows down your eating. It helps you become more mindful, more aware, and less likely to overeat. A study even showed that people who ate in-shell pistachios consumed 41% fewer calories than those who ate them shelled, and they felt just as full. Pretty powerful, right? So what's the ideal serving? About 49 pistachios. Yes, you get more per ounce than any other nut. That makes them feel generous, not restricted. Try them on their own. Sprinkle them over Greek yogurt with berries, or blend them into a smoothie for a delicious, protein-packed breakfast. Pistachios prove that healthy eating doesn't mean giving up the joy of snacking. It just means choosing snacks that work with your body, not against it. Because when you nourish wisely, you don't just lose weight, you gain freedom. 4. Brazil nuts, thyroid supporters. Sometimes the smallest habits create the biggest impact, and Brazil nuts are living proof of that. You've probably seen them in mixed nut jars. Those large, crescent-shaped nuts with a rich, creamy texture. They might not be your go-to snack, but after today, you may look at them very differently. Brazil nuts are one of the richest natural sources of selenium, a mineral that plays a critical role in thyroid health. Why does that matter? Because your thyroid is your body's engine regulator, controlling metabolism, energy, body temperature, even mood and memory. And as we age, our thyroid often slows down, leading to symptoms like fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, and sensitivity to cold. Here's the breakthrough. Just one Brazil nut a day, sometimes two, can provide 100% or more of your daily selenium needs. Yes, that's all it takes. Selenium helps your body produce and regulate thyroid hormones, keeping your metabolism in balance. It also protects the thyroid gland itself from oxidative damage, like a tiny antioxidant shield. But the benefits don't stop there. Selenium also supports your immune system, your cognitive health, and even your fertility and hormone balance. It's a multitasking mineral that your body can't produce on its own. So, getting it through diet is essential. But here's the catch. Too much selenium can be harmful. That's why Brazil nuts are more like a daily supplement, not a handful snack. Just 1 or 2 per day is plenty, and more is not better. If you're not a fan of their texture on their own, try chopping 1 Brazil nut into your morning oatmeal or yogurt, or blend a single nut into a smoothie. It adds creaminess and nutrition without changing the flavor. Simple, subtle, incredibly powerful. So if you've been feeling a little more sluggish than usual, or your lab results show slightly off thyroid levels, adding a Brazil nut to your routine might be the easiest wellness upgrade you'll ever make. Because sometimes a single nut a day keeps fatigue away. Part 2. The nutty villains. 4 nuts to approach with caution. They may look harmless, some even taste buttery, luxurious, and deeply satisfying. But not all nuts are created equal, and some may be quietly working against your health if you're not careful. It's time to meet the 4 nuts you should think twice about. Let's begin with a fan favorite. Number 1. Macadamia nuts. Calorie bombs. They're buttery. They're soft. They feel indulgent. And that's part of the problem. Macadamia nuts have earned a reputation as a gourmet snack, often found in cookies, trail mixes, or roasted in rich oils. And while they do contain healthy monounsaturated fats, there's something you need to know before tossing back a handful. These little treats are extremely calorie-dense. Just 1 ounce, about 10 to 12 nuts, packs over 200 calories and 21 grams of fat. That's nearly double the fat content of most other nuts, making them one of the richest, most energy-dense options out there. Now here's where it gets tricky. Macadamias are soft and mild in flavor. They're easy to chew and even easier to overeat. Unlike almonds or pistachios that take time to crunch through, macadamias slip by with very little effort, which makes portion control dangerously difficult. And most of the time, they're not served raw. They're coated in sugar, salt, chocolate, or honey glaze, turning an already rich nut into a dessert-level indulgence. If you're watching your weight, blood sugar, or managing cholesterol, macadamia nuts might quietly undo your progress. But here's the good news. You don't have to cut them out completely. Instead, treat macadamia nuts like fine chocolate or wine, to be enjoyed occasionally and in small intentional servings. Try pre-portioning them, just 5 or 6 at a time, and mixing them with fiber-rich fruits like berries to balance the fats. Because even the richest nut has a place in your diet when you're in control, not the craving. 2. Peanuts. Allergen alert. Peanuts? They're everywhere. From lunchbox staples to party bowls, peanut butter spreads to trail mixes, they've become almost too familiar. But here's what most people don't realize. Peanuts aren't actually nuts. They're legumes, and they come with some very unique health concerns, especially for older adults. First and foremost, peanuts are among the most common and most dangerous food allergens in the world. For individuals with sensitivities, even trace amounts of peanut protein can trigger severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis, a life-threatening condition that can happen in minutes. But allergies aside, there's another hidden issue, and it's even less talked about. Aflatoxins. Peanuts are particularly vulnerable to contamination by this naturally occurring toxin produced by a type of mold that thrives in warm, humid environments. And here's the problem. Aflatoxins don't just make food spoil. They've been linked to liver damage and even an increased risk of liver cancer. Now, to be clear, the U.S. has strict regulations in place to keep aflatoxin levels low in commercial peanut products. But if you're buying bulk peanuts, storing them for long periods, or consuming peanut butter daily, you may be putting extra strain on your liver, especially if you're already managing conditions like fatty liver disease or high cholesterol. And there's more. Many commercial peanut products, including peanut butter, come loaded with added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and excessive salt. These additives can easily turn a protein-rich snack into a metabolic burden, contributing to weight gain, inflammation, and poor heart health. So, what's the takeaway? If you love peanuts, enjoy them the smart way. Choose natural peanut butter. No sugar, no added oils. Store peanuts in a cool, dry place and don't let them sit too long. And if you or a family member has even the slightest peanut sensitivity, avoid them altogether. It's not worth the risk, because sometimes the foods we trust the most are the ones that demand the most caution. 3 pine nuts, perishable and pricey. They look small, elegant, and gourmet, often sprinkled over a fancy salad or blended into a rich pesto. Pine nuts have long been a favorite in Mediterranean and Italian cuisine, but while they may taste refined, they're not always the most practical choice for everyday health, especially for older adults trying to make every bite count. Let's start with their biggest weakness. They spoil easily. Pine nuts have a high oil content, which makes them highly perishable. When not stored properly, say left in a pantry or kitchen cabinet for a few weeks, they go rancid. The result? A sharp, bitter, or even metallic taste that lingers long after eating. And here's where it gets strange. Some people develop what's called pine mouth syndrome. Days after eating spoiled pine nuts, they experience a persistent bitter or metallic taste that affects everything they eat or drink, from coffee to soup to fresh fruit. And while pine mouth isn't dangerous, it can last up to a week or more, turning mealtimes into a frustrating experience. But that's not all. Nutritionally, pine nuts just don't hold up when compared to other nuts. They're lower in protein and fiber, meaning they won't keep you full as long. And they don't offer the same wide spectrum of vitamins and minerals found in almonds, walnuts, or pistachios. Plus, let's talk cost. Pine nuts are one of the most expensive nuts on the market. And when you combine high price with a short shelf life, it becomes clear. They're better saved for special occasions, not daily snacking. If you do enjoy their subtle flavor, here's how to make it work. Store them in the refrigerator or freezer, always in an airtight container. Use small amounts in sauces or salads. Think garnish, not handful. And if you've ever experienced pine mouth, it's best to avoid them entirely. Bottom line, pine nuts may feel fancy, but they come with more risks than rewards, especially when you're focused on maximizing nutrition, avoiding waste, and keeping your digestion on track. 4. Chestnuts, starchy outliers. They're roasted over open fires, served during the holidays, and carry a warm, nostalgic charm. But despite their comforting flavor, chestnuts stand apart from most other nuts, and not in a good way. Unlike almonds, walnuts, or pistachios, chestnuts are low in healthy fats and lack the protein punch we typically expect from nuts. That means fewer benefits for your heart, muscles, and satiety. What chestnuts do have, and in high amounts, is starch. In fact, nutritionally speaking, chestnuts are closer to potatoes than to nuts. They're primarily carbohydrate-based, and while that might give you a quick burst of energy, it can also cause your blood sugar to spike. Especially dangerous for older adults managing diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance. Let's break this down. They're low in monounsaturated fats, so they won't help lower bad cholesterol like almonds do. They offer minimal protein, so they won't keep you full or aid muscle health. And with a higher glycemic index, they can throw off your energy and mood just an hour after eating. This doesn't mean chestnuts are bad, but they are limited. They do contain small amounts of vitamin C and potassium, and in traditional cuisines, they're often used as a grain substitute, not a nut. But if you're reaching for them, thinking they'll offer the same health benefits as other tree nuts, think again. So, how should you approach chestnuts? Treat them like a starchy side, not a daily snack. Pair them with protein or healthy fats, like a few slices of cheese or a handful of walnuts, to help balance your blood sugar. And be mindful of portions, especially if you're watching your carb intake. In short, chestnuts are sweet, but not a nutritional powerhouse. If you're focused on heart health, energy stability, or aging well, they're not the nut to lean on. Part 3. Making the switch. Practical tips for a healthier snacking habit. So now you know, not all nuts are created equal, but knowing is only half the battle. The real question is, how do you put this knowledge into action? Let's walk through 3 essential shifts you can make today to upgrade your snacking routine without giving up the nuts you love. First, portion control. Even the healthiest nut can become a problem when eaten in excess. Nuts are calorie dense, meaning a small amount packs a big punch. That's great for energy, but it's also easy to go overboard. So what's the right amount? A small handful, roughly 1 ounce per serving. For almonds, that's about 23 pieces. For walnuts, 14 halves. For pistachios, 49 kernels. Yes, they're smaller, but still count. Eating straight from the bag? That's a recipe for mindless munching. Pre-portion your snacks into small containers or snack-size bags to avoid going overboard without even realizing it. Second, preparation matters. Not all nuts in the store are created equal. A roasted, salted nut coated in honey or chocolate? That's no longer a healthy snack. It's dessert. Here's what to look for. Choose raw, unsalted, or dry roasted nuts. Skip those roasted in oils like canola or soybean, which add unnecessary fats. Watch for added sugar. Even flavored nuts like honey roasted or barbecue can hide multiple teaspoons of sugar in a single serving. When in doubt, simpler is better. Let the nut shine on its own. Third, storage tips. Nuts contain natural oils, and oils spoil. Left out too long or stored poorly, nuts can become rancid, developing an unpleasant taste and even digestive risks. Protect your nuts and your health by storing them properly. Use airtight containers. Keep them in a cool, dark place, like a pantry away from the stove. For longer shelf life, store them in the refrigerator or even freeze them. And always check the smell before eating. A sour or paint-like odor means it's time to toss them. Bonus tip: rotate your nut selection. Just like any other food group, variety helps prevent overexposure to a single nutrient and gives your body a broader range of health benefits. In summary, portion smart, pick clean, store right. These tiny changes make a big difference and help you turn a simple snack into a powerful tool for your heart, brain, metabolism, more. Coming up next, let's wrap it all up with one clear takeaway you won't forget. Would you like me to write the final outro now? Nuts about health, your path to mindful munching. It's incredible how something as small as a nut can have such a big impact on your health. From boosting heart strength, to sharpening memory, to supporting your thyroid and immune system, the right nut, in the right amount, truly is nature's little medicine. And the best part? You don't need to overhaul your life to see results. Just one smart swap, one mindful handful, can lead to more energy, better digestion, and a happier, more confident you. Because when you snack with intention, you're not just filling a craving, you're feeding your future. So let us ask you, which nut will you add to your diet starting today? We'd love to hear in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to take that first step. And if today's tips helped you see food a little differently, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of wise, wellness-minded seniors. Here's to snacking smarter, living longer, and feeling better, one bite at a time.